Today we're going to be looking at recognising equal waters. So, our warm up today, we need to remind the person next to you what these two words mean. Savannah, can you read this word for me?
Numerator.
Numerator, well done. Ben, can you read this word for me? Denominator, well done. So remind the person next to you what a numerator is, what a denominator is, and what they represent when we're talking about fractions. We've got 20 seconds, go.
A numerator is the whole that you have cut in half. Denominator. That's what denominator is. And numerator have how many cuts in half. And then denominator that
How much good is that? It's like
this is half of me.
Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Macy. Thank you, Kai. So, Noah, what is a numerator? What is it? When you're looking at fractions, what number is the numerator? So remember, we've got two numbers in a fraction, a number at the top and a number at the bottom. Do you remember what one was the numerator?
And half.
Oh. So a fraction that we've been looking at was half. So when you write half, when we write half on the board, so we had, what number was on the top when we wrote half? One, well done. And then we had the line, and then what number was on the bottom? 2. So this is our fraction of the half. So what number out of the 1 and the 2 was the numerator, Toby? So the top number of a fraction is called the numerator. And so that means what's the bottom one then, Mason? The denominator, well done. So we're now having a look at what they represent. So, the numerator we know is the top number. So the numerator is a number that represents how many parts of the whole that you've taken away. Can everyone say this with me?
The numerator is the number that represents how many parts of the whole that have been taken.
So if I had a cake that had 4 pieces in it, so I cut the cake into 4 and I took 1 piece away, that's how many pieces have been taken from our whole. And the denominator is the number that represents all of the parts of the whole. So the denominator is the number that represents all of the parts of the whole. So like I've just said, if we cut a cake into 4, we've got 4 pieces that represent the whole cake. So can we read this one together?
A denominator is a number that represents all the parts of the whole.
I didn't have every child reading that with me, so Samuel, you should join in with everyone reading this together. Ready, one more time, you two.
Denominator is a number that represents all the parts of the whole.
That was a lot better, you two. And here you all. So we're going to have a recap of our vocab words. We're going to read them all together, and then you're going to talk to your partner what you know about these words and what they mean. So we're going to read them together, ready?
Equal, unequal.
So pause it to Samuel. Can you see, looking what we're doing together? We're reading the words. We're going to start again.
Equal, unequal, half, whole, 2, part, split, quarter.
Water. Oh, talk to your partner. What do you think water is? Also, you know
I could have stolen me.
Perfect. Well done. Thank you, Savannah. Thank you, Hallie. Thank you, Isla. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Max. So, Isla and Harley, what did you talk about? What is a quarter? Also, if you cut it into an X, so you have 4 quarters. So that's what me and Samuel just spoke about. We know that when we're cutting into quarters, we're going to end up with 4 pieces, aren't we? So if I had a cake and I want to find the quarters of it, I'll cut it in half. And then if I cut it again into another half, I'll then end up having 4 quarters. Well done. And read this last word for me.
Great.
Wait, one more time so everyone reads it.
Great.
Perfect. And what about the quarters? What do they need to be, Samuel? We just spoke about it.
They need to be same length and equal.
So they all need to be equal sizes. So then it's fair. So they've all got to be equal. Just like our halves, our 2 halves have to be equal. It's the same with our quarters. They have to be equal sizes for them to be quarters. So, in your maths book, which Miss Martin's going to kindly hand out for me, you've got this question. So what you need to do is you need to circle the shapes that have a quarter shaded. So the shapes that have 1 quarter that are shaded in the shapes. And then once you've done that, you then need to answer the rest of the question. It says which shapes do not have a quarter shaded and how do you know? So I want a sentence of how you know what shapes aren't shaded into a quarter. And then once you finish that, have a look at the extension. You have 3 minutes once you get your maths books, so you're waiting. Which one has 1? Yeah, that one makes it. So which ones have 1 quarter shaded in? So circle those shapes for me. So you need your pencil. No, on these ones, look at this question first. So you need to circle which shapes have a quarter shaded. So that one, yeah, you just told me that if you cut it in into 4, you get 4 inches. What's about the second one? They don't equal. No, so we can't circle that one, can we? What about this one? Ooh, so what about the triangles? Are they all equal sizes? So if they're all equal sizes, is that one got a quarter shade in?
The rectangle.
Yeah, so what do you need to do? What do you need to do? You need to... Right, okay. So have a go with these shapes, and then once you've done those ones, write a sentence for me of how you know. Write a sentence for me of how you know.
Mason, just do the first one. Just do the first one to start off with. It says circle the shapes that have a quarter shaded. So think about what Miss Thorne was saying about what did a quarter mean? It's split into how many equal parts? How many, Mia? 4. So which shapes have been split into 4 equal parts? You've got to circle the ones you think have split equally into 4. Samuel, could you just talk to Morgan and tell him what he's got to do?
Yeah, you circle ones that are correct.
Oh, but that's not.
5. Split into 5, can it be a quarter? What does a quarter mean?
No, I was doing already, so that.
Oh no, so, or is it 3? So if I had a cake and I cut it into quarters, how many pieces of cake will I then have? 4. So we know when we're cutting into quarters, we always need to have 4 pieces. So this one can't be cut into quarters, as there's 5 and there's 4. Yes, Molly. So, these 6 circles are 1 portion. So what do we say about quarters? They need to be. Yeah, then it's 4 ones. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So can it be a quarter that was 5? No, so that one's not a quarter shaken. Well done. So this one, how many pieces shaken? That's it. Well done. And this
Look at that one. What about the circle? It's a circle split into equal quarters. How do you know? What did Miss Thorne say a quarter was? How many equal parts does there need to be for it to be a quarter? Think about what she said about cutting up the cake. Cut up how many pieces does the cake need to be cut into for it to be a quarter? Which one? Think about the work you were doing yesterday, that you were working on which fraction yesterday? Look back in your book, which fraction were you doing yesterday?
perfect. So you can write the sentence
So Mason, do you want me to help you read that last bit? So it says, here is an outline of each of the shapes. Correctly split them into quarters and shade 1 quarter of each. So can you now split those shapes into quarters and then shade 1 quarter for me? Use a ruler to make it nice and accurate. So remember, Holly, your fractions, your parts need to be equal. So make sure each part is the same. It needs to be equal.
Come girls, get this sentence written. How do you know that these three are not important? Perfect. And what is the amount that needs to be quarters? So you told me that they don't have the right amount. This, how many sections in this one?
4. If it was like that, it would. So you're going to colour in.
Perfect. So there needs to be how many quarters there need to be for it to be quarters? So one, there's 4 sections. How many has this one got?
5.
5. So that one can't be right. Well done, Lydia. Max, can you sit properly for me, please? So sit with both feet on the floor.